So today I wanted to make a video about something I'm going through right now, and I know that there are other women out there who are going through the same thing, and I really haven't seen a YouTube video made on this, and I was searching around and it's hard to find. I mean, there's a few blog articles out there, but there really isn't anyone like actually expressing what they're going through as they're going through it. So if you couldn't tell by the title, I am 8 months pregnant and my husband is currently in Iraq. He is in the US military. He was deployed to Iraq when I was 7 months pregnant, a couple weeks before Christmas. I am due in February and he won't be home until the child's 5 or 6 months old. So I kind of just wanted to talk about my experience because I know that there are other women out there who have to go through this, and it's not easy and it's not fun, and maybe just having my perspective out there can help them out. So my husband and I moved from one station to another, and when we were coming to the new military base, we knew that there was a high likelihood that he would be deployed. And originally we were told he was going to be deployed about 2 weeks after we arrived, which was in October. With that being said, the only thing certain in the military life is that nothing is certain. So when we got here, plans changed, and it was kind of an on-again, off-again thing. He would come home from work one day and say, "Oh, I'm not being deployed anymore." And 2 weeks later, he'd be like, "Oh, I could be deployed next week. I'm going to be deployed next month. Oh, I'm not being deployed anymore." And it went back and forth and for, oh my goodness, 3 months, until finally 2 weeks before he left, we had a for sure, he had orders in his hand that he was going to Iraq in 2 weeks. And he was leaving a week before Christmas. So it was already a really hectic time. I was 7 months pregnant at the time, had just hit my 3rd trimester, was really tired, was really overwhelmed, and then on top of that, all of a sudden I had this news that in 2 weeks my husband was for sure going. Be prepared, get ready. So we had 2 weeks to prepare, and obviously he had most of the things that he had to do, but I had a lot I had to prepare for as well. There's so much that goes into a deployment, from legal paperwork that I needed because I was having his child while he is not here, and there's a lot of things if he wants that child registered under his name in a military database, essentially, I need to legally have the right to do that. So we had to set up all of this legal stuff in order for me to pretty much maintain our lifestyle and add that child to our lifestyle while he was away. He has businesses that he runs that I had to have some legal rights to so I could manage them or help manage them while he's away. We had to get all kinds of car insurance and everything like that. Anything that was originally under his name had to have my name on it too, so I could function in society without him here. We took a trip to see his family for Christmas before he left, and we came home 2 days before he actually left for Iraq. And during those 2 days, it was just, we were exhausted. We had been working so hard on prepping everything for the deployment. Like, I wanted it to be really special and really intimate and really spend time with him, but we just didn't have that. We were absolutely exhausted from just the go, go, go. He was told that he would be leaving at 3:30 in the morning on a Sunday. So we were going to have to get up at 2:30 to drive him. I was going to have to drive him and drop him off. Well, we get a call at midnight that is not happening. He actually needs to be there now. We were both asleep at the time, trying to get the little bit of sleep we could before he left. I'm just a pregnant mess at this point. Like, no makeup, my hair's not done, I haven't showered, I'm in grungy pajamas. I did not care. I was like, I'll get up early and look good before I take him. I did not have time to do that, so I had to drive him to drop him off. Essentially, like, the last time he sees me, I am a complete wreck, just like morning breath, pregnancy grossness, and that's how I got to say goodbye to him. We were both super stressed, it was super rushed, and off he went. I can honestly say, for me anyways, and I think for most women, the first few days are definitely the worst. Because my husband, he wasn't deployed like with a huge group of people. It was a smaller group of people. It's hard to explain, and I'm not going to get into like a ton of military terminology, but essentially he went with a small group of people, and we didn't even know exactly where he was going. Just he was going to Iraq. He didn't know when he would be there. He didn't know if he would be in a place where he could contact me. He didn't know if he would be able to call or text or Skype or write letters. Like, he literally knew nothing about where he was going. He didn't even know where exactly he was going or when exactly he would be there. I didn't know if he was going to be somewhere safe. I didn't know if he was going to be somewhere where he could contact me, where he would be able to stay updated on the pregnancy, where he would be able to Skype the birth. It probably took him about 2 days to get to Iraq through all the different traveling that he did. And I had spotty communication with him during that time. But by the time he got to Iraq, our communication cut off for a couple days. And those days were like seriously so anxiety ridden, because immediately before our contact got cut off, he had told me that he was possibly going to a base where he would have no contact with me for up to a month. So, and my stupid question was, is it safe? And he was like, I don't know. So that was our last conversation pretty much before contact got cut off, and I was freaking out. I mean, pregnancy hormones rushed in. I was crying. I was laying in bed all day. I could not function. I could not eat. I was so anxiety ridden the entire time that he was not in contact with me. And finally, about 3 days later, he did get in contact with me, let me know where he was, that he was in a safe place and he was going to be okay, and essentially he would have contact with me, and told me a little bit about his job. But those first few days of no contact and just not knowing anything was absolutely terrifying. And more than anything else, I think I just felt really alone and left out. We had just moved to this new base in this new state where I didn't know anyone. I have no friends, no family connections. My parents are a 12-hour drive away, and I'm pregnant. And during pregnancy, it's just not a time when you want to be alone. So I think the biggest struggle for me has been coming to terms with the fact that I'm by myself, and I just kind of have to get through this by myself. And you get used to these habits with your husband in the house. With my husband being in the military, because he works such long hours, I pretty much take care of all the house chores. So I like do his laundry, cook his meals, clean his dishes, pick up after him. And when he left, all of a sudden I was living this lifestyle where I was so accustomed to doing everything for him that now I just had to do it for me, and it felt really odd. It was really hard to switch my mindset over and to like reroute my habits to where I no longer was picking up his laundry. I no longer was cooking for two. I no longer was having meal times planned around his work times. It was just every single little aspect of my life seemed to change just a little bit, just enough for it to feel like a really big change that he was gone. And I've always been really independent, and I love my alone time. Like, the fact that my husband goes off and works for like 10 hours a day, I'm usually so happy with, because I need my time to do me, to get things done, to do things my way without anyone telling me what to do. But when he's gone constantly, and I really love the time that I do spend with him, it's a huge adjustment to all of a sudden not think of him in every single thing that I do throughout the day. And there are so many emotions you go through, just weird emotions, like obviously worry, anxiety. I've never struggled with anxiety, but having your husband in a war zone is going to give you some anxiety. You're going to worry. You're probably going to feel abandoned. I definitely go through phases where I feel really mad. Like, I'm really angry that I'm going through the pregnancy by myself. There are even times where I feel jealous. Like, I'm like, he gets to go on this grand adventure and see all of these things, and I'm stuck at home being pregnant, which really isn't the case. I know that pregnancy and having this baby is going to be an adventure all of its own that he's missing out on, but it definitely, there is some jealousy there in a really weird way. There are just so many emotions that you go through. But I will tell you, after a couple weeks, the dust begins to settle and everything does get easier. You get into this rhythm. You recognize that they're just not going to be home, and you start to live your life with them not there and just be okay about that. You are happy to be in touch with them when you can be, but it's not so worrisome when you're not in constant contact. And for me, really the thing that has helped me get into that rhythm is to focus on new goals. So I have a set of things that I want to accomplish before he gets home. Some good things to focus on, especially I think to kind of keep the romance alive, is something physical. So like improve yourself physically somehow, whether that's staying in shape or getting in shape, eating healthy. For me, I am trying to do Invisalign, but that's a longer process than I anticipated it would be. So that's not going to be completed by the time he gets here, I don't think. I'm also working on eating healthier and getting outside more and just doing things like that. But also it's a great time to focus on you, to take college courses, to get a new job, to focus on your financial stability, to work on some new creative endeavor. Like, there are so many things you can do now because you have the time to do it. And I am more focused on my home business now because I'm not so focused on him. So, I mean, that is one, I guess, positive, but if nothing else, it's a way that you can definitely create an environment for yourself where time is going to go faster and you are going to have an easier time adjusting to your husband or wife not being around. So yeah, that's my first video. This is actually going on a channel I just started called Golden Family Memories, and essentially it's a channel I created because I really want my family to have some video documentaries of just kind of the things that happen in our life. And prior to this, it's just been my husband and I, but I have our first little one due in less than 2 months. So I really wanted to create a place where I could vlog and document everything that happens as our family grows. I think it'll be a really fun project. And this is just one of the first videos I'm making because it feels really fitting. It's something I'm going through. It's something other families may be going through. And I wanted to share my experience and also document it for myself in the future, because someday I'm going to look back and I'm going to be like, it wasn't that bad. But today it seems like a huge deal, and I'm sure someday in the future it will seem like such an insignificant amount of time. Thank you for watching, and if your husband is deployed, just know that you are not alone, especially if you are pregnant, or if your wife is deployed, or if your parent is deployed. There are other people out there who are going through the same thing. You can reach out to me. I am more than open to talking to other military family members who are going through the anxiety and the struggle and the adjustment. I get it. I really do. It does get better. I am wishing your family member a very safe return home.